BagPlaysGames, aka Bag.
What is up, baggers? Welcome back to the midweek market watch. Today I'm going to do it a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and look at more of the sealed product side of things because that is where a lot of people are frustrated with the hobby right now, in my opinion. People are frustrated that when they go into a store, there's not any product, that they can't find product for MSRP, that everything is too expensive, scalpers are the issue. I just want to say, in my opinion, scalpers are not the issue. It has to do with a lack of supply and an increase in demand, right? A lot of these products weren't selling prior to the recent hype going on into Pokemon. And I'm relatively new into the market side of things for Pokemon, but I actively collected Pokemon. But now being a part of the market, I understand that it comes to a deeper problem than just people buying all the product at stores. Or your LGS is selling it for above MSRP when they're supposed to sell it for MSRP. First things first, prior to any of Pokemon hype, I believe that Pokemon boxes were selling for like $100, which is not very much above retail. And no one was complaining then about, oh, the boxes aren't being sold for MSRP. They were taking advantage of the price. However, now that the prices have increased in favor of the market, people are upset about that and want MSRP. Well, the fact of the matter is, most of these shops aren't getting it at MSRP or lower than MSRP, whatever distro prices. A lot of these shops are paying the secondhand market price or a percentage of it, as many vendors take in stuff at certain percentages. So it's not possible for you to get products at MSRP, especially if a lot of the distributors are increasing the price to vendors. So the MSRP is just strictly like not possible at this point, and it has nothing to do with the scalpers. I just want that main thing to get pointed across. Obviously, it sucks that people can just buy out all the product and then there's not available, but I mean, there's a reason why everyone wants it, right? If no one wanted it, they'd always be there, and then no one would have anything to complain about. So that's my take on that. So a lot of these prices are not because of scalpers. It has to do with the whole industry as it is right now and the amount of people that are interested in Pokemon. For example, look at Destined Rivals price right now. $278 market price for a pre-sale. 36 listings from $273.95. Like, this set's not even out yet, and it's already reaching almost $300 for a booster box. And you know why? It's not because of scalpers. It's because people are paying for it. Look, 5 sold a day. Most recent sale 278. Let's look at it. 278, 278, 278, 278. All of that today. So if no one was buying it, then they wouldn't be selling it for this price. Unfortunately, the market demands for this product and the price is just going to continue to climb, and it sucks, honestly. I'm not saying it's a good thing. Prismatic ETBs, there's a reprint coming. Yes, it's going to go down a little bit because people expect the reprints to sustain everyone. But even if they do reprint this and X amount of people get it at MSRP, it's not going to really affect this price until the market as a whole calms down. But even then, a set like Prismatic, I don't think is going to drop very much. Especially with a IP like Pokemon. It's not a matter of if it's going to crash, it's just a matter of how long is it going to be until it goes back up. Because if you look at a lot of Pokemon product, most of the return of your investment is significantly higher if you just hold it in the long run, right? So these short-term dips and increases don't really matter. So, I mean, it sucks that these are the prices, but these are the prices you're either going to have to accept it or get lucky at retail, and it's not because of scalpers, it's the market. If it's not 121 right now, it would have been 121 in like a few months, right? Like, that's just the way that a lot of the Pokemon product goes. Like, I remember collecting as a kid and having an XY Roaring Skies ETB and not thinking much of it until getting back into the hobby and realizing like these sets are super expensive. Like, if I wanted to open Roaring Skies right now, let's see how much it would cost for me to open Roaring Skies. All right, let's just look. And then the only reason I know this is because I used the code that it came with on TCG Live on an old account. and I knew I had the sleeves. And when I got back in the hobby, I was like, oh, I wonder what sleeves those were. And boom, if I wanted to get an XY Roaring Scars Elite Trainer box just to like relive that moment when I was younger, I'm just on TCG Player. It's not even available, number one, right? I can't buy it, but the market price is saying 1,500, but there are currently no listings. So I mean, what if the same thing is happening with someone Prismatic right now and they don't want to pay $120 because they have scalpers? Is this box $1,500 because of scalpers? I don't think so. In fact, I know it doesn't. Let's say I want to open just a pack of Roaring Skies, but I really just want to open the ETB because that's what's going to remind me most of this, right? But if I just want to open a pack, $33.21. A booster box is $1,000 actually, so the lowest listed is 15, and then 16, and then it goes to 10,000 for the case. So there's no way of me opening this without spending a decent amount of money, right? And Roaring Skies, the singles aren't bad. They have some good hits, and there's some expensive cards from this set. But what are the likelihood of me making the money back on, let's say, a booster box, right? If I pull this card is 200 market, it doesn't look like I'll make my money back, especially unless I'm grading these cards and getting them in a PSA 10, right? So I want to open this box just for nostalgia factor. I don't want to spend 1,500, so this is just not gonna happen. So if you consider that, it's not really that big a deal that the prismatic is 120 right now, because it's gonna keep going up. That's just the way that the Pokemon market works, and it has nothing to do with scalpers. Now I want to talk a little bit about Crown Zenith, because we've been seeing a lot of these cards fall in price recently, which has been happening with a lot of modern cards. I'm not too sure what it means yet, especially since I'm so new into this being this deep into the market. I'm not too sure what to expect, but I don't think these cards are going to stay down for very long. So this card was around $100 in May. It is currently 180, but it was seeing highs of around 215, but we are seeing lower listings now. So a lot of these cards from Crown Zenith have dropped a little bit. But if we look at Crown Zenith product, a lot of Crown Zenith product has not dropped down in price. In fact, maybe even the opposite. For example, we have the Sea and Sky premium collections right here. They were selling for, I believe it was $35 to $50, around that range retail, but they have been selling for 130 for the most recent saleable market price is 148. So big increase in the product for Crown Zenith, especially the Pokemon Center ETB. The Pokemon Center ETB market is 269 with the most recent sale 249, but the lowest listed verified is around 250. Then it goes back to 260. So it's interesting that the sealed product for this is going to continue to climb. Obviously, it's out of print, and the only way you're going to get this is from a scalper, right? But yeah, like even just the regular ETB 141 33. So we have right here $147.98 for the lowest listed verified, and this is Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith is my favorite set. I love Crown Zenith, and I think it's worth like that value now because we're not going to see more printings of this. I don't think Pokemon's going to come and reprint more Crown Zenith anymore, and we just have what's available, and the set's great. It's a great set to open. It was fun while it lasted, right? When you were able to get it MSRP, but not anymore. This has now gone into like people's sealed collection, and there's not going to be very much out there on the market for a decent price anymore. And with that, the singles are falling. Like look at this Mewtwo V-Star. $95.18, and it was selling for like 125. Lowest listed verified is actually $85. So a lot of these Crown Zenith cards are falling in price right now. I still think they're worth holding though, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but like this Mewtwo V-Star with the Charizard, iconic in my opinion, and I think it's gonna see a lot of demand in the future. So if you saw last week's Market Watch, you know I mentioned a few of these big hitters that have been falling off in price, like the Charizard EX was almost 300, is now $209.25 market price. Lowest listings up to looks like 190. The Sunbreon is going for $16.99. Lily's Clefairy's 190. Even the Bubble Muse dropped down a little bit. I don't want to say it's dropped too much. It's still a pretty high price right now, but it was $420. Now it's 312. And yeah, so there's a lot of these singles falling in price. I know a lot of people are worried. So I mean, but if I'm right here on TCG Player best selling, and there are some good hits that are just being bought for collections. But we see right here Enzoroark EX best selling on the first page, 2 different copies. We have Pheasantipity EX. We have a Night Stretcher, an uncommon from Shrouded Fable, the set that no one likes, going for $3. And that is because the game right now is in a good place, in my opinion. There's a lot of reprints coming out with the new, I don't know if you guys heard, the EX Battle Deck. League Battle Deck Dragapult EX comes with a lot of cards that are useful for playing. Of course, with the way the market is right now, they are going for around $50 when retail is usually around $30. So you get Dragapult EX, you get 4 Dragapult EXs, a Pheasantipity, and an Unfair Stamp. And a few other cards I believe are reprinted in here that are staples in the Pokemon TCG, such as Arvins and Ionos, I believe. I'll have to double check on that. So here we have the battle deck. We have 4 copies of the whole Dragapult line. We have a copy of Pheasantipity. We have 3 copies of Arvin, Boss's Orders, Buddy Puffins, Countercatchers, Earthen Vessels, Ionos, some rare candies, rescue boards, and then the A-Spec Unfair Stamp. Going for around $50, but this is a very good competitive deck, seeing that this is one of the high meta decks, I would say. I'm still learning the game to the extent of being able to play at a local tournament like that, so don't take my word for it, but I'm thinking Dragapult's one of the better decks in the format right now. So this is a really good product for you if you are trying to play the game. But however, $50 is going to be a little expensive for cards like this. But if you're a collector right now, maybe you've opened a lot of Twilight Masquerade, maybe you opened some Shrouded Fable as well, you could probably build this deck with the bulk you have laying around. Right now, while it's hard to get product, it's hard to find it at a good price. You don't want to spend too much money. Now's a good time to get into the cards you have on the side, all those bulk cards, and maybe build a deck and go to a local store. You could even try to win product there. Once you win tournaments, you can win products there. So try to utilize those cards that you've been purchasing when collecting, and try to play the game. Maybe check it out. Maybe you have some of these cards, you can build this battle deck instead of having to pay that $50. And you could even probably build a different deck that you have with all these cards. Some of these cards are cards you can use in other decks, such as the Arvin right here, the Buddy Puffin, Countercatcher, Earthen Vessel, Iono, Ultra Ball, the Unfair Stamp too. These cards are all used in various decks, and it's not bad to have a few of these on hand. I recommend you check it out, see if you have some of these cards, and make a deck and try to play. Have some fun with it while we're in these times of very limited product. Do not leave the hobby. Explore the hobby in other ways. But yeah, I just wanted to have that quick video out there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate Nexus and Argamithius for being channel members. If you guys are interested in being a channel member, I have some exclusive badges depending on how long you've been on there, and exclusive emotes, and it really helps out the channel, really helps me push out content and continue on my Pokemon journey. Anyways, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.